Take that next step. Like, I want to earn more. I want to be on a secure ladder. I think particularly as a woman as well, you want to feel like you're in secure employment. Let's say you want to, get married or get pregnant, and you want to make sure you have good benefits and things like that.
Yeah. So Wanda, here we are. You're finally here. Thank you for coming. It's good to have you here. I remember when we spoke before, you said that you're not sure, you don't know if you have anything to say. But just now, we've been speaking before, and you have so much to say.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to have you here to learn more about you. There was a specific reason why I wanted to speak to you, but we will get into that. So before we get into that, I just want to find out a bit more about Wanda. So what was your childhood like?
I grew up in a very loving household, very blessed to have a loving household. Mum, dad, older brother, older sister. I'm the baby last.
Me too.
Which I love.
Yeah.
You too, right?
Yeah, from my mum, yeah.
Which I love. Don't you love it?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I really like it.
I'm not babied. I'm not babied at all.
In fact, it's interesting because my mum always says to me that I'm just so independent.
Yeah.
But I just like being in the last child.
Yeah, I'm the only girl, so of course it's different. Yeah.
Don't you love that as well?
I like being the only girl. I feel like I take kind of like a leadership role.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I feel like you could be baby, like my brother. Not baby, but it's like they're protective and that kind of thing.
They are protective. I think naturally older brothers are protective. But I feel like I'm more organised. So when things need to be done, I'm normally the one like chairing it and making sure that everyone is doing what they need to do. So yes, back to your
So I was like interviewing
back to you, girl.
Me, so my upbringing, yes, like I said, so mum, dad, grew up in Tottenham. Went to primary school in Tottenham, went to secondary school in Enfield, so very much North London raised. And yeah, I'm honestly very blessed to have my family around me. My parents are pretty strong in their faith, so we grew up with that influence, which I feel has been like a real blessing. Praying without ceasing is very, very important, and I've seen it firsthand in my parents. So yeah, I feel like that was something great to instill in us.
Okay, before we stay on, let's stay on the subject of faith. How did that influence who you are today? So your parents teaching you about how important it is to have God in your life, and also you figuring out for yourself and forming your own relationship. How has that shaped who you are today, and why is it so important?
Because I just feel a mess without God, if I'm honest with you. So I mentioned having prayerful parents and stuff, which is amazing, but I think it's also very important for you to carve your own relationship with God, because it's everyone's own personal journey, everyone's personal salvation that you need to work out with fear and trembling. So I feel like having the influence, particularly with seeing my parents praying in the morning, praying in the night, I feel like it's hard, but I'm trying particularly more now to build more of a relationship with God, a consistent one. I feel like my relationship has been a bit of an up and down, and with that same up and down, I feel like I've seen my life go up and down in the sense of more so mentally, any other thing I would say, but I just feel like with God there's peace, with God there's hope. So that's been one of the main things that I feel like I've experienced, and that's why I want to stick to it. It's definitely a journey, it's definitely a process, it's a lifestyle, it's not a religion. So yeah, very, 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 very much in love with God, and I just want to get to know him more. Yeah,
I love that. So how was growing up, going to school, like for you, are you someone who had an idea of what they wanted to do when they were young, or did you have to go through certain stages to get to the point you're at now?
I think it was when I was a bit older, so maybe late secondary school, going into sixth form, when I knew that I wanted to do something healthcare related. So I think I first started off with wanted to do midwifery because the idea of just delivering babies, loved it. Then that moved on to maybe I could do medicine. Then I thought quickly no. And then I like science, so I really like science. So I decided to do biomedical science by the time I got to uni. So I think I had from a younger age the idea of something sciencey, something medically, and yeah, that's just the way I went with it.
So what did you do after uni? Did you know exactly the field you wanted to get in, or was that another journey in itself?
Yeah, I think like most people who go to uni, you don't quite know what's happening after.
At all.
And it's actually quite daunting. Yeah, when you hit third year, is when you realise that, wait, I need to start thinking about after.
I'm done in no time.
Yeah, you need to start thinking about after.
I think everyone goes through that stage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really mind the idea of further study. So it was either you're going to find a job or you'll do something with further study. So I was searching one day and came across the master's that I eventually did, which is called Physician Associate Studies. So I'm now a Physician Associate. It's a 2-year master's. What attracted me to it was the fact that it was something that was like healthcare related, it was medical. But I wasn't going to medical school because if I'm honest, no shade to anybody who's a doctor, I actually realised that I don't want to be a doctor.
Right.
I do think that obviously you need doctors in this life, but it's a lot of work. And obviously, as we can see now with all the media and everything, they're kind of going through it right now.
Yeah.
Like obviously there could be stress with any job, any role, but I don't really want stress.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Also, with like certain professions, for example, being in the medical field is either you're a doctor, you're a nurse, but there's so many other things you can be doing. So many other things.
Occupational therapist, A&P, like so many. So many.
I feel like people need to normalise actually doing the research within that particular field. Just like with like teaching, you don't have to be a teacher, like a maths teacher, science teacher. You can actually be PSHE, is that what they called it back then? You know,
is it the support?
PSHE, when they teach you about, anyway.
I don't know.
Instead of doing, going into...
I think I do know. Yeah. It was kind of like a sociology kind of thing.
Exactly. I think different schools called it different things. Yeah, but just to say that
was actually a good subject.
It was a good subject. I feel like in that subject, they probably should have taught us about the whole like banking and how to navigate finances and
we need to come on to
yes,
those things
that's
because,
definitely one of the main points. What were your money habits growing up? And this will make sense once we get into it.
It's hard to have a habit when you ain't got none.
Right.
No. But what I'm going to say is I would openly describe myself as a frugal person. I actually like to buy stuff, of course. Like to be a babe, of course. But for me, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Like, feeling like there isn't money available makes me anxious. Like, I feel like it just gives me alarm bells. So I don't like to feel uncomfortable in that regard. I know that someone might feel comfortable, like, using their last to go and buy a Gucci bag because, like, I'll make it back on the next paycheck or something. Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, I would love to do that, but I can't do that. I need to... There's a comfort in having money that, obviously you shouldn't make money your god or make it an idol or anything, but it's nice to have money and to know that it's available for you, like, especially like emergencies or whatever. So yeah, I'd say I was a bit of a frugal person, but I still, like to
treat yourself. Yeah. So you knew how to manage your money and make it work in a way that works for you, essentially. But
even with that, I'm just thinking... I got a job pretty early. I think I was working from 16, 17 at New Look in Wood Green. And again, that ties into you want to feel like you have something, so you got to start basically on your hustle. And I even went back to work there in after my first year of uni. First year of uni I think it was, or maybe second. In fact, both years. I forgot it was both years. I think that I went to work in the summer holidays there, because I just like to have something for myself. I think it comes back to that independence. I was saying my mum always mentioned that I was an independent child. Just like to have something for yourself. So
I'm the same. I'm the same. And so you and your sister decided that I love you so much that I want to live with you. I'm happy to myself. How did that come about? Because most young people, if they want to move out and buy a home, it's usually solo by themselves. So what made you and your sister decide, you know what, let's do this together?
I think it was more so economical thinking, because you could get more if you just combine the incomes. Just kind of simply put. And I think also the stages in life that we were, where I'm working now, she'd already been working, so she'd actually been saving for a while with the mind that she would buy a property. Then it just kind of made sense that, okay, like if we do this together, then we can get somewhere bigger, which would be a bigger investment. And we were at a point where I was like, we kind of do want to move. She'd initially been thinking about maybe getting somewhere and renting it out, so she wouldn't actually move out. But then we just thought, no, let's actually move. I think the pandemic probably did it as well. You just realise you want your space. So yeah, that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So growing up, did you always know that you wanted to buy a house, like at a young age, or when did that thought come in?
You know what, I feel like this is a key to the importance of like what you say is what can actually become. Because I always used to mention like, like if I could buy a house before I got married, I would, because I can, like I have the ability to. Why not do a good thing? And that's exactly what I've done. So I wouldn't say it was always in my mind that way, but it was like, this is a great thing. So why not do it? So when the opportunity presented, it was literally just a no-brainer. It wasn't even like a really big discussion. It was, this is happening.
Let's do it. So what are some of the things you had to change in order to make that happen? So you just said that you were quite frugal. Did you have to make a lot of sacrifices in terms of like social life, or not really?
I'm not really like a, let's say like a going out person like that anyway, so I don't think I really missed out in a major sense in that way. I tend to be at home, or I do things like, you know, like go to a restaurant or like do an activity. So how did it change things in that time? I didn't do it every month, admittedly, but the plan was to save 2k a month, which was a sacrifice, definitely. But again, when you could just see the end goal, it's just like, it just is what it is. You just do it.
Get on with it.
I had things to do. Like I would still try to enjoy it. So one big thing for me was I wanted to turn 25 in Ghana. It was very important to me. I don't know if I could even say exactly why. It was just very important to me. So that cost money, you know, Ghana in December, and I did it. I really did it, and I'm glad I did. And actually went again in April the next year. So, you know, I think being mindful of your finances, but also carving space out for, you know, things that are important to you, keep you sane. So yeah, just have to be smart with your money.
Of course. What are some of the tools do you think would help? So for someone out there who wants to own a home one day, but they haven't really got a hold of their finances, or they haven't really had to be disciplined when it comes to their finances, what are some of the tools do you think could help someone like that? Because I know it starts off with your mindset. So how can someone...
It's like you read my mind.
How can someone change their mindset and, you know, slowly shift? I know each person is different, but if you were in that position, what do you think you would have done?
I think the first thing, it starts with the decision that you want to do that thing, said thing, whatever it is. And then number 2 is timescale. How quickly do you want to do said thing? Because that will determine how radical your goals kind of need to be. I think, let's say somebody doesn't have the discipline in, like, let's say saving or budgeting. You have to start small. Where do you spend the most? Is it on Uber Eats? Is it on going out on the weekends? You're going to have to start telling your friends, I can't come.
Right.
I actually can't come. And also, ask your friends, okay, what else can we do that is cheap? Or can we do something at home? Can we do, like, you kind of have to make it make sense. And people who are understanding of that will be understanding of that.
Right.
I do think that it does, like, the big thing really is mindset and deciding that you want it. If you want it enough, you're going to start saving. And you won't touch it. It is what it is. I think for me, one thing that helped, although I don't think it would have been an issue for me if I put it in my own savings account. My sister had already been saving, like I mentioned. So I'd send that 2K to her, to that account, to that pot.
Right.
So it's like, once it's gone anyway. I'm not, like, asking for it back. So some people, like, if you need that accountability as well, you could have an account where, or somebody who you really trust, who's like, okay, I'm sending this money, and, like, I can't touch it. So either they ask me about it or they can look after the money. But I, again, really trust. Really trust.
Really trust.
Unless you're asking for it back and they're like, oh, I ain't got it, huh? But yeah, I think the main thing is mindset. If you want it enough, you will do it. And I don't mean that in, like, a kind of, you know, throwaway comment kind of way. I mean also practical ways. So if you, not just, oh, I want a house, so I want to own a house tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. If you know you could afford it, if you did X, Y, Z, then you will do X, Y, Z. Yeah, I'm not just saying that I just want to buy a house.
Right, yeah.
Because it's a process. So yeah.
Amazing. So what was the timescale? Because you said you had a timescale. So how long were you both saving for? Well, how long were you saving for? Because you said your sister was already saving.
I started working in 2021, and I can't remember exactly how long after. But I feel like it was very, very quick. Like, she had been saving, then I basically started working and I was like, okay, start saving. Maybe for a few months or something. And the whole, like, house process. Thank God, like, honestly, thank God for my parents as well, who helped us with. It's not only just, like, getting the house as well, like, there's things to do, like renovations and stuff. So all of that. But even now, still, it's 2023, but I feel like, you know, obviously now you're paying your mortgage and you're paying your bills or whatever, but there's still little things in the house that you want to, you know, do. There's a garden that you want to do up and stuff like that. So it doesn't really end until you decide that it ends. But, you know, for me, it hasn't ended. Yeah.
But do you look back and think, I did that? Like, we did
that. I think only God. It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, only God. Even the whole process. We had decided on the house pretty quickly. I wasn't there. I was at work. My sister and my brother and dad, I think, had gone to the viewings. And it was like, I think maybe 2 days of viewings. Maybe even 1 day. And this was the last house, I think, on the list. Or sending me the videos on WhatsApp as they were going. And it was like, yep, that's the house. Keep it moving. Straight away, like, putting in offers. And it was all very quick until it got a bit slow. Because there was a bit of an issue with, on the seller's side. So that slowed things down. But we thank God we completed on, I think, the day or the day before the offer, the mortgage offer would have expired.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was really, really good. It was really good, actually. Yeah. When I think back, it's like, whoa.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was whoa.
Yeah. Well done to you guys, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
It's such a big achievement. 1 person, 2 people. It's honestly a big achievement. I feel like you have to, because it's so big, you have to change well, I haven't done it, but I'm guessing you have to change so much because, like you said, you did
again, like I feel like I'm the kind of person that if I want said thing and it means that I'm gonna have to deprive myself. I say deprive myself. It means that, let's say I'm not gonna wear makeup and be cute for like 10 minutes. I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's just whatever. I don't even remember. It was just part of the process.
Yeah, because you knew that's where you wanted.
I try not to think too much of like, oh, I'm in the trenches, like, oh, hold me, It's kind of like you need to get through it. Just kind of get through it, and then we'll be on the other side. I don't really like the whole like,
wallowing. So that get through it mentality, is that you in every situation?
Yes, and I think that's like for better or for worse because it can make me quite dismissive sometimes, or I don't want to say cold, but quite stoic. Like it's like, because I'm not trying to feel like I feel like I've had a few things actually in recent times where I should probably be like you and get a therapist. I mean, I tried, but I think there's great difficulties in trying to get a good therapist.
Yeah.
Where it's like you kind of forget things, and then it's like, okay, I'm healed because I can't remember anymore. But that's actually it's not great because then something will happen
that will
trigger, and everything just comes right back into your memory. So yeah. I guess that's why I'm gonna really be active in journaling. I mentioned like coming off of Insta and just being very like present. I think I've spent a lot of this year trying to be present, like with myself.
Right.
I'm similar to you. Like I really like my own company, but I'm trying to change things. I'm trying to be in my own company and be more productive and feel. I don't know, just more aligned. It feels so weird to say. Sounded very like I don't know. It sounds like I'm like some airy fairy.
No, not at all.
No, I don't even mean it in an airy fairy
not
way. I'm just trying to be.
Because you even said to me that you're coming off social media.
Yeah.
And is that part of you trying to be in the moment, appreciating the real things?
Yeah. Like I love being like out in nature, like going for walks.
Oh yeah, I see you on the story.
I just love it so much. I just want to be present in real life with the people around me. Not that I'm always on my phone or anything, but I just want to just live in real life because it's all fake anyway on social media.
Of course. I love that. So what does this year look like for you? Because leading up to the year, there's been so much talk about 2024 is the year, 2024, no excuses, this and that. So
I feel like people do that every year.
I know. People do that every year. But what does that mean for you individually this year? What does this year look like for you? What are you doing more
of? Certainly more working out. I feel like I've fallen in love with working out in a different way to the way I've had previously, where it's like, okay, I'm working out for a set kind of body or whatever. It's for health. It's for like sustenance. So being continuing to be active, be more active even. I think professionally as well, I want to develop. So I want to look into things that I could do to just, take that next step. Like I want to earn more. I want to be on a secure ladder. I think particularly as a woman as well, you want to feel like you're in secure employment. Let's say you want to, get married or get pregnant, and you want to make sure you have good benefits and things like that.
Yeah.
Currently I'm self-employed, so there isn't any of that kind of thing. So it's kind of thinking of the future. Although there isn't anything like set to think of right now. Again, like I mentioned, like I kind of think about what's going to happen next. What do you need to do? So then kind of get yourself like aligned for it. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try and position myself for in 2024. Yeah.
And what are you letting, or what did you let go of in the previous year? Speak it.
I don't even know. Because again, like I mentioned, like just kind of blocking things out. So I don't even know. I'm gonna say anger, or sadness. You know what? Sadness. Forget anger. Sadness. Because this year I said, you're going to be happy one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, forget happiness. Happiness is a fleeting thing. You're going to have joy one day. And again, when you speak things, like, God gave me joy this year. And it was joy in the mundane. It was joy in the going for the walks. It was joy in the I'm eating good. It was joy in the I'm going to the cinema. It was joy in I like my clothes. It was joy in I like my makeup. It was joy in I like my hair. Like, I'm just happier. My brother made a comment actually a few months ago. And I was like, oh my God, you don't really pick up on what people notice. He said like, oh, you seem happier. Like, you seem like you're good, because you seemed a bit like you're quite flat kind of. And I didn't even realise that I was that way. And he didn't mention it at that time either. So it was like, you know, people around you, people who know you really do notice if there's something up or you're not quite like yourself. And yeah, I'm just really happy. I'm grateful that God blessed me with joy this year. Because yeah, it's been nice.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love that. What would you say to someone who is going through a transition, a self-discovery transition, because you seem like you've done some work on yourself independently? Like you said, you haven't had therapy. So I feel like it starts with yourself before you seek therapy and things like that. I think it is important to do the work within yourself. I'm talking from my experience. That's the path I decided to take to figure me out and to enjoy my space. So yeah, what would you say to someone who's going through that period but they're unsure of how to get past that hurdle?
I think again, it's making the decision that you actually want to get over it. I think once you decide that you want to get over it, that's you acknowledging that you're going to have to do the work to get over it. But at the same time, not being so rigid on like, okay, you have to get over it, but giving yourself like breaks, giving yourself like leeway, giving yourself allowance, because you can decide that, okay, I want to do the work on myself, but doing that work is exhausting, is mentally exhausting. It could even be physically exhausting. I remember when we closed, it was September on the house, it was September 2022. After that, I don't know if it was straight after that. No, it must have been like October or November at some point. I just lost my voice. I wasn't sick. My voice was just really croaky. And then at sometimes it would be like a whisper. So I remember my birthday period, even on my birthday, that's now December, it's like my voice was just kind of coming back and it was sounding still kind of croaky. It was kind of weird. And I think looking back, I realised that my body was just under stress. Because I wasn't sick, I just didn't have a voice. So giving yourself the time to like, okay, feel things and then keep it moving. Like, feel it, process it, keep it moving. It's okay to feel it as long as you keep on keep on going. And you need to actually feel it to get over it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. So we actually met at our mutual friends event.
Yes.
And I honestly love those type of events.
Loved it.
Big up Chevelle.
Yeah. Big up you, girl.
Honestly, doing amazing things.
Yeah.
So when you're in the presence of her and the guests and the things that we've been asked to do, how do you feel about it? Because I feel like, well, we definitely participate, but some people may not be comfortable, even though they've chosen to go to certain things. They may choose to not speak out as much as others. But I've noticed that you share your thoughts. So what does that type of space mean for you?
I think it's because it's a bit of a dump, not in a way of like I'm dumping on everyone around me, but it's a bit of a brain dump because I don't really speak things out. I'm very much like I talk to myself in my head a lot. Like I'm very introspective, very much an introvert as well. So everything is like within me. But I think people feel like also being an introvert means that you are a shy person. It doesn't mean that. So when I go to these spaces where it's like, oh my god, like I've actually been thinking about these things. I've been talking about these things with myself. It's like, okay, you kind of bounce it off other people. Like if the vibe is right, you kind of bounce like thoughts around with other people. And it's interesting. I feel like what's been interesting for me is that Chevelle, again, big up you. She's created a space with these events where people who I want to say are kind of like-minded in a sense, who've come into these events, are able to kind of, you know, pour out, and I like it. It's really nice. I like her events.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice space.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like events like that, journaling, spending time with myself, I feel like, and God as well, most importantly, I feel like those are my tools in terms of like growing and learning through certain things. For example, when, you know, someone else is speaking about their experience of what they've learned, back to Chevelle's event, actually I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. And I realised that everyone is sort of saying the same thing, but through their own lens, if that makes sense. So I love that. And from what I've gathered, your tool is going out into nature, going for your walks, exercising, doing makeup.
Yeah.
Doing makeup, because it is therapeutic to you.
It is therapeutic to me, yeah. I really do. I feel like this year, I've been inside a lot, like, you know, work from home and stuff. I haven't dressed up that much this year, which has been kind of weird. Maybe next year I'll go out more, but yeah, I do like dressing up. I really do like dressing up. Kind of girly in that sense.
Yeah, there you are, glam. You just look so effortless. But yeah, it just goes to say that everyone has their thing that helps them and keeps them, I guess, sane. Because I'm sure when you're doing your makeup, it's your chance to like have me time, to not think about things that may not be going the way you want them to go. So yeah, you've said what you're looking forward to in this new year, and it just seems like whatever you say you're going to do, you're going to make sure that you do it.
Amen. In Jesus' name.
No, honestly.
In Jesus' name.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to what you're going to do. And I know you're not the type of person to broadcast it online. But at the next event, I'm sure we'll definitely speak about what we've been able to do. Yeah. Is there anything... Sorry?
I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, is there anything else you want to get out? Because before we did this, you were saying you feel like you have something to just get out.
Yeah, I feel like even just being here, deciding to come, was a big thing. Just to, you know, speak and... I don't know, just be somebody who is able to, you know, speak in their truth. Not that I've shared anything, you know, crazy, but just, you know, speak and, you know, like come before people. Like, I feel like these things are big deals to me. And I feel like you can't just sit on a camera or behind a camera, or in front of a camera, I should say, and just come and speak nonsense. I feel like it's actually a big like platform. So I just feel like deciding to come, God giving me the ability to come, it was like there was something that needed to be said, and I feel like I'm hoping that anybody watching, if there was something they got from it, then I feel like then God's work is done. And I'm just happy. I feel like it's a nice way to start the year with knowing that the sort of stepping stones that I've placed in 2023 and then what I want to continue on with in 2024. So it's a nice place to start. Yeah.
Thank you for actually saying, hold on, I actually want to come. Because I was so happy to hear your message. I was so happy to hear that voice note.
Let's do it.
I'm really happy you came. Honestly, I love what you've done, because like I said before, like off camera, not many of our peers have achieved the things you've achieved, and even what you've achieved, I'm not even thinking about that yet, or the thought of it alone just scares me, and the fact that you've been able to do it, kudos to you, honestly. Well done. Yeah, you've taught me some things as well?
You know what, just very quickly, one thing I want to say
Mm.
is that for anybody who may be on a journey, whether it's buying a house or whatever it is, it could be something relatively small, but it's not small to you.
Right.
If you're on the journey and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is so long, or I just don't know where to start, just stop for a minute and just plan things out step by step. Or if you need to take a breather, again, you need to take a breather. But I think the main thing is to just keep going and be intentional about what you want, and don't compromise for the things that you want.
That's
important.
That's big. Not to compromise.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Yeah, not to compromise.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end it. Don't compromise, guys, okay? Take charge this year. Honestly, because what you write, what you say, if it's in God's plan, then it will definitely come to pass. And that's one thing that I've experienced. You can try to pull away from something, but if it's calling you, speaking to you, you definitely need to act on it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, thank you.
It's good.
Wasn't so daunting, was it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.